Hi everybody. How are y'all? Hey, well I hope you had fun putting white on your drawings with the eyes and the different types of eyes and the ears and a little bit of hair. We are going to still do the eyes. We're not going to worry about the hair a whole lot today, but we're going to start adding hands and feet and arms and legs. It's very basic, but we need to start adding full body gestures, okay? If we can learn to be expressive with the whole body, then when we start adding even more expression to the face, it'll be doubly expressive, okay? Really good cartoonists don't just use expressive faces. In fact, they get most of their expression through the body and then add the face kind of as topping on the cake.
Like Mickey Mouse, his arms and legs are just like...
Yeah, Mickey Mouse is a good one. They're all over the place, okay? That's actually a style called rubber hose, and rubber hose style of animation. And Popeye was that way, some of these older cartoons. In fact, the hands were so important back then. A lot of the artists would draw their hands first, and then they would just connect them after they would draw the hands to their body. And they would do it in a rubber hose fashion. That's how it got its name. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, so we're going to start with hands. They're pretty simple. Well, let me rephrase that. They're really hard. Hands are really hard, but we're going to make it kind of simple today. We're going to show you a few different ways. Remember, you can always look at your hand, okay, to get a sense of how to draw it. We're going to show you feet. Feet are really just triangles. And then we're going to show you some ways to show expression with arms and feet and legs and hands. And do one last thing, a trick that... kind of a trick that Da Vinci used. Okay, it wasn't the only one, but he used kind of this trick. So, okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Really good cartoonists. They make their hands pretty quick and pretty easy. Okay, they just do streaks. Okay, something like that. Okay, how do you know if you have a good hand? Draw an arm on it. If it makes sense, it's a good hand. Okay, I'm going to draw my middle finger a little long there, but that's pretty good. Okay, so there are tricks to doing it. Okay, so one way to do it is you can draw kind of a long triangle. Okay, kind of a long triangle like this. Okay, just kind of a long triangle like that. Okay, and then let's draw our fingers off it. Okay, that would be the pinky. This would be your first finger, middle finger, ring finger. Okay, and then your thumb would just come. You did the other way. That's awesome. Okay, and then your thumb would just come off to the side. Okay.
See the resemblance?
Oh yes. Yeah, you always have a hand to look at. Okay. Okay. So. Cartoonists don't stick to this rule a whole lot. They do a little bit. You got to know it, but your fingers are about as long as your palm. So your whole hand is about half palm and half fingers. Not exactly, but it's pretty close. Okay? So when you close them up, they're pretty much, okay? If you look at it there, it's pretty close. The other thing is your thumb's shorter than you think. Okay? When you close your thumb up, it only comes to just about midway through your first finger. Okay? So if it closes up, it shouldn't be way up here by your top finger. Okay, so thumbs off to the side there. How do we know if that's a good hand? Well, let's draw another arm on it. That's not so bad. Yep, looking good. Okay, if your arm looks good on your hand, you have a pretty good hand. That's one good one. So another way people do it is they kind of draw a house where one side of the roof is a little bit short and one side of the roof is a little bit long. Okay, and they just draw a house like that. And then over here, and then over here they'll draw a thumb coming off to the side, and you'll see how.
And the thumb is just like the tulip petals.
Yeah, thumb is just like a tulip petal. Okay.
Or not petals, leaves.
Right, yeah. Tulip leaf. Right. Sorry. Is that a good hand? It's not so bad. Okay. Another way people do it is they'll do it by drawing a mitten. Okay, kind of the same shape as this, but just everything's a little rounder. Okay, a little bit rounder. And that is definitely the way Mickey Mouse did his. Started out with his hands. They were mittens. Okay. I was doing more of a Mickey Mouse thing there. And you can, yeah, looks pretty good. Okay. So those are a few ways to make hands. Do them however you want. I really think the more you get to where you just draw them nice and quick, the more expressive they'll be. Okay. And this is kind of how we're going to get to some other ways how hands kind of fold over and stuff. But for now, for expressive hands, do that. We're going to teach you how to draw hands that grab stuff and hold on to stuff. And those are a little different. But for expressive hands, draw them kind of quick. Okay, another thing that we could do is we can draw where you're pointing or you're like making the number 1 sign. Okay, woo. Okay, so instead of drawing a big house, you just want to make a kind of a smaller looking house. Okay, so not a big one. Fairlane has an interesting way to do this. She does it the same way, but she starts with the circle and then just kind of draws a little bit of roof on top of it. Okay, and so start with the circle, draw a little bit of roof, and then just put your finger up there. Okay, looks like a chimney. Is that a good? Let's see. Yeah, that looks like a number 1. Okay, number 1. Now the funny thing is all these hands are kind of going up. Right? But what if you wanted your hand to go this way? What if you wanted to point that way? Okay? Well, you draw a triangle. It's kind of a round triangle. Okay, kind of a round triangle like this. Okay? And you draw a finger off of it. A little round finger. Okay? There's more to it, but this is kind of how the cartoons do it. Okay? Does that look like a... Well, it does. Look like it's pointing that way. Okay. We're just getting the basics of just basic hand gestures. Okay. Just basic. I do suggest practicing some on your own. See how many hand gestures you can make. Okay. So when it comes to feet for now are pretty much just triangles. Okay. From your ankle down to your knee, or down to your toes. It's like this. We have the sous vide going off. So that would be a foot going this way, okay? And when you draw feet, okay, you generally don't want to draw them in the same direction, okay? You want to draw feet going in different directions, okay? Going in different directions and makes it a little more stable. We'll work on that in a little bit. Okay, so let's just do our first basic person, and it will be somebody, let's say it's just somebody waving to you who sees you out on the trail or walking around your neighborhood. So we're just going to draw the face that we're all good at doing, okay, and they're going to be looking at us, so just a U-shaped nose, eyeballs. And one thing I should have mentioned earlier, when you draw these kind of eyeballs, make sure the pupils come up pretty high because that makes it look like they're looking at you. If you draw just the pupils down low, it kind of looks like they're looking down. Give them a good smile. Okay. Give them a good chin. Okay, a couple of ears. Okay. Nice round head. Some nice eyebrows. And a nice person. Okay, they're going to wave high. Okay, so we're not going to build the body. These are called gesture characters. Okay, so all right. Now I'm going to take my time and I'm going to draw one of the triangles. Make whatever kind of hand you want. Okay, I'm just going to go a little bit slower than I normally would. I would normally do the fast kind for this. Go a little bit slower. Okay, thumb on this side this time. Okay, and another thing that a lot of people don't know, but your middle finger is always your longest. Some people, their forefinger or their first finger or their pointer finger, whatever you want to call it, is the second longest. Some people, their ring finger is the longest. Okay, you can look that up on the internet. That actually tells you something about yourself if your ring finger is longer than your pointer finger or your first finger. And then of course pinky is the shortest. Remember, the thumb only comes up to about here. Okay. Now, sometimes cartoonists will draw the fingers a little bit longer just to really, so you can really see them well. Okay. So, all right. So let's draw his other hand down here a little bit. I'm just going to draw a quick one this time. Okay. Just a quick hand. All right. I've got one finger behind the other there, but that's okay. Okay. And then we will draw just some basic feet. Or some basic legs on the basic. Now remember, when you draw feet, you don't want your feet pointing in the same direction. Okay? Your feet should point in not opposite directions, but just away from each other. That makes everything look a little more stable. Okay, so there he's just kind of waving at you. Hi. Okay, next person we're gonna do, yeah, so that's a good one. I kind of like that flatter top. We should do more head shapes that are different head shapes. That's a good idea. Okay, so let's draw a person running. They're going to run this way. Okay, they're going to run across the page. Okay, so let's get our nose pointed. Remember, we got to do our nose to get our direction going. Okay, we'll give some eyeballs. Okay, put the pupils right at that side of your eyeball so we really can tell they're going that way. Okay, nice little smile. Now remember, everything doesn't have to hook up, right? Sometimes a lot of the times it looks better when things don't touch, okay? Things don't have to touch. Okay, so we're gonna have this person run, okay? Now, when cartoonists draw people in action, they kind of overdo it, okay? Make it really, really obvious what's going on. So let's have this person have an arm come way back behind them. Okay, way back behind them like that. Well, we're going to give them one of those closed fists, like when we were drawing here, just kind of a closed fist. Okay, closed fist.
And you don't have to add a point to it.
Yeah, you don't have to add a point to it. Okay, and then we'll have this arm, okay, coming. Now, no one would really run like this. Okay, but, okay, another one. Okay, and then we'll have his back leg coming way up. Just put a triangle on the back of it there. Okay. Ooh. And then we'll have his front leg going way out like this. Okay. This guy is really running. Okay. Very expressive. Just did some very basic legs. Had a direction, but you can tell they're running. Okay. It's pretty easy to get that across. Okay, so this time, let's draw one more person looking at us. Okay, one more person looking at us, but we're going to give the number one hands. Okay, so one more person looking at us. Draw the nose. Get your eyeballs going. Oh, got my eyes off a little size. Okay, good smile. Good chin. Okay, so this person is going to do number one hands. Okay, it's just kind of, your technique is really fast, really, and I like it. Okay, comes up a little bit. Draw. Yeah, that's a good technique. Okay. Speedy drawings, believe it or not, almost always look better than slow drawings for cartooning. If you're trying to paint a masterpiece, it might take you a while. Okay, so this time, just for fun.
You can't draw the Mona Lisa in 5 seconds.
Not in 5 seconds, no. But we will talk more about Da Vinci. So this time, let's just have them, woo, they're so excited. Okay, remember, your feet are triangles. Okay, I'm going to give him like he's kicking his leg out on that one. Woohoo! Okay. We'll just have him jumping off the ground. Okay, really good. Like it. Perfect. Okay, so they're excited. They just had a real good swim or cheering for their team or something. Okay, so here's one more. This is, so I'll give you more details someday, but one thing Da Vinci used to do is he would go look at smudges and smears and kind of stuff that was laying on the ground that maybe wasn't nice and tidy, and he'd look at it and go, how can I take that smudge, that smear, that kind of weird place on the ground and make something of it, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of that right now. You going to use that one? I'll use this one. Okay, so I've seen this done in college classes, okay? I've seen a lot of people do, in fact, I've even seen books made this way, okay? We're going to ink our thumbs. Okay, now, if you're a young person, you need to make sure you get permission to ink your thumb.
Oh, well, hello, parent. May I?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Thank you.
So, this is another way to make what happened to my ink? Can I borrow your ink?
Hold on. I have to draw my thumb. We're editing this out, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my ink there.
Maybe we can put this in bloopers.
Yeah, maybe so. Well, that's okay. It's not, how'd yours turn out? Oh, yours is really good. I'm going to borrow yours again.
You just have to press it down really hard. Though. 12 minutes later.
Okay. That took too long. Okay, so we have our smudge here. Now, what are we going to do with that smudge? Okay. Now, think of your smudge as kind of like one of these faces. How are you going to do it, and what are you going to make it? How are you going to make it look exciting? I think I know what I'm going to do. First, draw a nose. So I kind of know where the direction's going. Okay, I'm going to do some eyeballs. I'm going to draw the eyeballs. Keep the pupils low on the eyeballs so I can kind of tell. A little bit of a smile. Okay. So if I draw, we all know how to streamline, right? Yeah. Okay, one hand goes over the other on a streamline. So it kind of look like two hands. I mean, two hands would kind of look like one. We're drawing a streamline. So we got that going. Okay. Put some feet on there. Okay, so like I said, feet are triangles. If you put just a little bit of a curve on a triangle, it'll even look more like a foot. You don't have to do a lot, just a little bit of a curve. It'll make it look even more like a foot. Okay, so here we go. And this person, of course, it's plenty deep. But we made a little character and they're diving into the water.
That person's being sucked up from the ground.
It looks like they're doing like a round off or a cartwheel or something. I like it.
And he's going
insanely
high.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. I love it. Okay. Hey, so don't forget to use your white. It makes things really jump and pop and look so much better when you have a little bit of white when you're drawing on your colored paper. Okay, just a little bit of white goes a long, long way. Okay. Ta-da! Okay, we made some really good gestures, some expressions with just arms and leg gestures and feet. See how many things you can make with your characters, okay? And we will draw some more tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.